for one team and a loss for the other. Stalemates are essentially a loss for both teams. To avoid stalemates, our map design considers two key variables: team respawn times and travel time from the respawn point to the front line. The team that's winning gets slightly faster respawn times and more forward respawn points, a positive reinforcement loop that increases the chances for them to push forward and win the game.
Opening. To help counter this, we provide alternate routes with high travel costs that become more attractive only when the enemy has strong defenses behind the main route. The number of enemy entry points to an area is crucial to its design, since it's extremely hard to hold an area when enemies approach from multiple fronts. This makes one-way exits a useful design tool, since they let us uncouple the number of entry points from the number of friendly offensive routes.
Relationship between the medic and his healing target. We wanted to see what we would get if we focused on creating a tight loop between two players, instead of just thinking about getting the larger team to cooperate. The medigun's design ensures that the medic and his target are extremely conscious of each other, watching their health and relative positions and making tactical choices carefully. We wanted there to be skill involved in being a good healing target, so that medics would seek out and latch onto skilled targets. This helps foster the relationship we were after.
So late in the project, while other parts of the game were being finished up, we found ourselves with some time left over for extra animation. There were several ideas on the table, including weapon-specific taunt animations. When evaluating a feature, we look at how many other features it connects to, and taunts were the clear winner. They play well with the killer freeze cam, adding to the relationship between the nemesis and his victim. They give us a highly visible place to show off our new facial animation technology, allowing the player to examine it from all angles. Finally, TF2's characters have a lot of personality, and taunts were the perfect way to show that personality through the animation and voice acting.
The other classes can't navigate. This area features a variety of rooftops and rocks that a scout can traverse while staying above any non-scout opponents. Scouts often use their speed advantage to retreat and collect health, so here we force them to adopt some risk by placing the health inside a small, enclosed area where they sacrifice some freedom of movement.
The sniper rifle was another tricky design problem. To meet players' expectations, a sniper rifle has to be able to kill an opponent with a single shot to the head. On the flip side, we need to ensure it cannot be snap-fired from the hip with the same effect, because then, in the hands of an experienced player, it also becomes the game's most lethal short-range weapon, negating the sniper's primary weakness. To solve this, we implemented a charging damage meter that only appears when the sniper is zoomed. This solution has several beneficial side effects. The low damage both while unzoomed and at the initial zoom ensures that snipers can't kill opponents with impromptu snap fire. The charge time means snipers can deal out low damage shots quickly, or highly damaging shots at slow intervals, which allows opponents to overwhelm them with a coordinated rush. The high damage at the end of the charge rewards sniper-esque behaviors, such as locating a decent vantage point and taking very deliberate shots.
We intended Team Fortress 2 to feature many special particle effects to enhance the wide variety of weapons and class abilities. In previous versions of the source engine, all particle effects required that custom code be written by the programmers. For Team Fortress 2, we create a system where designers can rapidly create new particle systems and iteratively refine existing ones without programmer involvement. An in-game editor allows designers to edit the definitions of particle systems and immediately preview effects in the game itself. The editor also allows artists to connect modular effect building blocks to create complex visual effects. As for the particle system itself, we have offloaded many of the system calculations to the graphics accelerator, which allows us to increase the number of particles on screen without reducing the frame rate.
With its wide field of fire, the Heavy's minigun lets players who don't have great twitch aiming skills still wade into the thick of combat. To make up for this reduction in the value of the player's aiming skill, we amplified the importance of other skills. For instance, the wind-up time before firing and the heavy's reduced speed while firing force players to learn to anticipate both the start of combat and incoming enemy attacks.
The challenge of the particle system was to create effects that were fun and visually exciting, without being so over the top that no one could read their meaning in the game. In a typical match, there are so many effects on screen at the same time that the biggest danger is visual clutter. Therefore, the effects were refined to be cleaner and simpler. Those that were most important for gameplay were made easier to see, while those that were mainly eye candy were allowed to fall into the background.
The Demo Man is the most versatile combat class, capable of rapidly switching from strong offensive pushes to defensive area denial. He has the only indirect fire capability in the game, allowing him to take out sentry guns around the corner, and his sticky bombs give him a grenade jumping ability similar to that of the soldier's rocket jumps. His sticky bombs can also prevent enemies from moving through doorways, cover a retreat, and defend control points even when the Demo Man is somewhere else.
The Medic is the main support class. Previous support classes we've designed had a variety of problems. They didn't require much skill because they stayed back in defended areas, which also kept them out of the funnest parts of the game. Worst of all, this meant they weren't even terribly useful because they generally weren't near the players who most needed to be healed. We designed the Team Fortress 2 Medic to solve these problems, primarily by focusing on keeping them right in the thick of battle. Additionally, we designed the Medigun to be as easy to use as possible, so that medics can focus on survival while healing teammates. Virtually no aiming is required, which lets medics concentrate on following their heal target, who has a huge incentive to keep his medic benefactor safe.